And when you give money to the masjid, they will know who you are. When you give money in charity, they know who you are. And if you're so stupid as to send any money at all to Palestine, they're going to send you to Guantanamo. So what we have in store for us tomorrow is the equivalent of a financial Guantanamo. It's not just anymore riba being used to rip you off. It is more than that. That the new monetary system is meant to not only rip you off, but also to enslave you, to rob you of your freedom. This is Dajjal's most dangerous weapon. And he's already used the weapon. What do we do? How do we respond? Tomorrow we're going down to Cedras. We say it is not possible to respond with a macro response. No, we don't have the power for that. We say only a micro response is possible. And that micro response is a remotely located Muslim village in which we will bring back the Sunnah money, gold and silver, and if you do not allow us to use gold and silver, then we will use commodities of food consumption in abundant supply in the market.
So what's the criteria that separates them from all the other states?
Okay.
Check one.
The comment was made, this is the question, the comment was made in the previous session that the holy state of Israel, created by Nabi Dawood alayhi salam and Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, was the greatest state that mankind would ever experience. How did you come to that conclusion? Where is the evidence? And what is the measuring rod which was used? The answer is in the Quran, that it was Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam who made a dua to Allah to grant that this state of Israel, the holy state of Israel, would be the grandest and greatest state in the world in all of history. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered that dua. Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam said that one night he had a wrestling match with Shaitan, with Iblis. And he defeated him. And he overpowered him. And he said, I was going to tie him up to the pillars of the masjid. And when the people came to the masjid for Fajr, they would see Shaitan tied up against the pillar of the masjid. But then I remembered the dua of Sulaiman alayhi salam, and I had to release him. This is the only answer we can give to you from the Quran and from the Hadith. What is clear about the holy state of Israel, established by Nabi Dawood alayhi salam and Nabi Sulaiman alayhi salam, is that it recognized Allah's sovereignty. It enforced Allah's law. And power in that state, power was used against the oppressor and to protect and to liberate the oppressed. Power was used to advance truth and to oppose falsehood, as in the case of the Queen of Saba. Next question? Yes, come forward quickly.
Sheikh, my question is, one thing I'm trying to have trouble getting my head around is that when they started printing off more notes than the amount of gold they had, what I don't understand is if, say, all of us, for example, have our paper money and they have our gold, right? So is it that we think that because our gold's safe, we just keep trading with paper? I just still have trouble understanding, why is it, how is it at a loss? Do you get me? How to explain?
If I understand the question, and I'm having a difficulty in understanding, why did the people exchange their gold for paper? Why did they benefit from minting gold coins? Oh, okay. You begin the process by printing only that amount of paper which can be redeemed for the gold that you have. The goldsmith began the scam. He said, keep your gold with me, I'll keep it, and I'll give you a receipt. And so when he got 100 ounces of gold, he issued 100 receipts. And people began to use the receipts now like a check to exchange with one another, knowing that anybody could go to the goldsmith and cash the check. So the paper currency functioned as a check that you can cash. The only problem was that the goldsmith, instead of issuing 100 checks for 100 ounces of gold, began to create wealth out of nothing. He issued 200 checks for 100 ounces of gold. Nobody knows about it, of course. Today everybody knows about it. Today they call it fractional reserve banking. But at that time it was secret. When people got to know that he's issued more paper than he has the gold, they became scared, and there's a rush now to get back my gold. And as they rush on the goldsmith to get back the gold, he doesn't have enough gold. So some people are left with only worthless paper in their hands. That's the scam. Next one, Faiz.
Just to comment on that.
Please. This is not only question and answer, there's also comments.
There's a comment on that, just to wrap our heads, because I've encountered this issue before. I'm the goldsmith, and I partner you in on this. I print more receipts than there are gold. I get you to go buy land for me. I get you to go buy someone else's land for me. I get you to go buy some oranges for me. I get you to go buy some jewelry for me, and we dump that fraudulent money into the system, you see? And when that money goes bad, we're left with real wealth, whereas people are left with paper. This is what bankers do. They have agents that increase the money supply, buy real goods with it, and then when that money supply comes circulating into the economy, it dilutes our money supply, which reduces our purchasing power. So the issue is, people think inflation has to do with laws of supply and demand, but what is provable is that inflation, 99% of inflation, has to do with manipulation of the money supply, just printing more money through various ways.
They call it inflation.
Yeah, it's...
Actually, it is what the Quran has prohibited. وَلَا تَبْخَسُوا النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُمْ. Go ahead, Faiz.
Your question is, where's the gold? That's a great question. That's a great question. That's not in Fort Knox, actually. If you think that gold is still sitting in Fort Knox, I'm not positive it's still in Fort Knox. It used to be in Fort Knox. But it's very important to understand now, the second thing about what Maulana said,